I think that rifle shoots better than I do.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we are talking about the Springfield Trapdoor Rifle, one of the most iconic American rifles ever made. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. Now, we're going to get into this, a little bit of the history, shooting it, and a little bit more. The Trapdoor Springfield 1884, officially known as the Model 1884 Springfield, is a significant firearm in American history, as stated before. It was a standard issue rifle for the United States Army during the later half of the 19th century and saw extensive use in various conflicts, including the Indian Wars and the Spanish-American War and the Philippine Insurrection. I have videos on those that I've done in the past if you'd like to watch them. The Model 1884 was an improvement upon the earlier Model 1873 Trapdoor Springfield rifle, which was the first standard issue breech-loading rifle adopted by the United States Army. The 1884 model featured several modifications and improvements over its predecessor, including a new rear sight and an improved breech mechanism. The Model 1884 Springfield was officially adopted by the United States Army in 1884.
And there was much rejoicing.
The Model 1884 Springfield was a single-shot breech-loading rifle. It utilized the .45-70 caliber metallic cartridge and had an effective range of up to 400 to 500 yards. Today, I was shooting at a target that was man-sized at 350 yards away. Operating the trapdoor rifle is very straightforward. You push the lever with your thumb, raising the trapdoor. If you have a cartridge in, it will eject it. If it is empty, you just simply raise the door, insert the cartridge, close the door, make sure the lever is set, and then you can pull the hammer back, and then fire.
Might be a bad cartridge.
Could be. There it is.
Just off the high left.
I think I'm shooting a little too fast. Alright, we're gonna go to laying down.
Sounded like it.
I can't tell. Like, it's weird.
You might be hitting the ground. You hit something.
Yeah?
It didn't sound like wood.
That sounded like wood.
That one sounded like wood, yeah. Or that hip rock right at the base.
Yeah.
question there.
Was that a, was that a ricochet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Did you see it hit the ground first?
No. I thought I heard a whiz like go off in one of the.
You probably heard it. Oh, I didn't think it hit.
Yeah.
I didn't hear one.
I didn't hear one either.
You might have.
But I definitely hit the metal target. And I forgot where I was aiming at. Hope I don't hit a cow.
Pretty neat to see it.
That is pretty cool. Yep.
You might be getting a little foul too in the
Yeah, this is. Let's see. Oh, what, 20 rounds?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. This is the last one, I think.
You see that bounce down and hit the ground right in front of it before the sound came back?
Yeah, it's so wild. To illustrate the long service life of the trapdoor Springfield rifle, I hired this random man to pose in an inaccurate World War I era uniform while holding a trapdoor Springfield rifle and wearing a Mills belt to illustrate these rifles did in fact have a long service life well into the First World War. To make matters even worse, he's impersonating a military police officer while wearing their badge on his chest. This man was undoubtedly ahead of his time, however, he did not get the memo that the trapdoor Springfield was obsolete by World War I. These men are clearly reading my membership-only post, which is why you should become a member so that you can read the same things they are reading. As you can see here, United States Army soldiers are unleashing a volley from their trapdoor Springfield rifles in Cuba during the Spanish-American War. Here you can see soldiers of the 16th Pennsylvania Volunteers kneeling with their Springfield trapdoor rifles during the Spanish-American War. Peacetime marksmanship training was definitely hit or miss. This is a picture of Geronimo with a trapdoor Springfield carbine that was randomly handed to him by the photographer. The trapdoor Springfield rifle played a significant role in the transition of the United States military from a muzzle-loading to breech-loading firearm. While it was eventually replaced by the more modern rifles such as the Krag Yorkson and the Springfield 1903, the Model 1884 remained in service for several decades and left a lasting impact on American military history. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what your favorite American rifle is, and I might agree or disagree with you. I also want to thank my patrons for allowing this to be made possible. Your contributions greatly help the channel bring content like this to you and to all of the viewers. So thank you. I would like to thank the 11 Bang Bang channel for allowing me to come out and shoot one of their rifles or a couple of their rifles. It was very generous of them and it was great to meet up with them, and I really am very appreciative of them allowing me the opportunity to do that today and to bring something very unique to my viewers. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today we're going to be talking about the 1917 trench boot. Now, these boots
were an improvement upon the 1912 U.S. Army marching shoe, or marching boot, whatever you want to call it, right? All right, these look nice, they look dapper, they're really great, but they have one small problem. When you're in the trenches of World War I, you don't need slick bottom shoes. You need things with hobnails, right? So these things are slipping around. They look great, don't get me wrong. I wear mine every single day. As you can see, they've been resold numerous times. Don't judge me, bro, come at me. Not only that, but these have heel irons and hobnails. They're going to extend the life of this boot. Now, you can waterproof them by mink oil or various other types of polish. Neat's foot oil is one of them. I usually put Neat's foot oil on mine, and they do a really great job. These boots I've had for about 6 or 7 years, maybe even longer. I got them at What Price Glory. I have hiked all through the mountains with them. I go hunting with them. I use them all the time. On the inside, don't judge me for my German Shepherd's long hair. Alright, they feature a nice leather sole, double stitching down here and along the back. This was designed as an improvement from the 1912 boot, because if you look on these, you got your stitching back here. This would come undone quite often, right? So they had to make an improvement, and they made a really good improvement, in my opinion. Another thing they did was they widened or thickened the leather sole, because these were for combat, so you're going to need a much thicker sole for that. Well, plus also the hobnails, you're going to need a thick sole for that as well. Another feature that I like about these is you can resole them. Alright, it's really not that hard. You can find a cobbler pretty much anywhere still. The trade has not completely died off, and I hope it continues, but surprisingly they can do the hobnails, so that is really nice. It's really easy. If one of these pops out or a couple of these pops out, take them there, get them resold. I've had this one resold, and like I said, it's really good against the weather and the elements. If you properly season them, you're not going to really have too much of a problem out of it. Unfortunately, a lot of reenactors don't really know how to do this, and so they think it's a lot worse than it really is. But all in all, it is a great boot. It was a huge improvement from what the soldiers were issued going into World War I, as well as prior. Yes, these shoes look great. One of the things that they wanted to do was they wanted to have a wide toe, so that your feet would have room to expand, and they did accomplish that. They also accomplished in making a really nice looking boot. But when it came to combat, you need something something more practical. So January of 1918, that's when they started designing and testing this boot. So that's the 1917 trench boot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to make a shout out to my patrons, Aaron Hook, who has a really cool history, Exciser, and then Michael Blum. They're my patrons, and appreciate their support. They help make videos like this possible. So if you want to continue to support my channel, just hit like and then subscribe. Throw some comments down on the bottom, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Hello everybody, my name is Kurt Stevens, and this is my YouTube channel, Madras Arsenal. Today we're at historic Fort Washita in Oklahoma. It was built in 1842 in the Indian Territory by Major General Taylor, who would later become President Taylor. So, it's very cold outside. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get in here and take a tour of this amazing fort. Alright. We're going to go up here to the old hospital. As you can see, the layout's very open. I'll explain that here in a few minutes. Right here you got the old hospital, stone foundation. It would have been a stone building, but essentially it would be replaced later on down that way by a new hospital. And the cool thing about that is the new hospital was so advanced it could hold 8 individuals. Now this is a very small foundation. It can only hold 1 person at a time. Not very effective when there's a war going on. So coming into the fort, you're immediately going to notice the barracks buildings over here. Unfortunately, they are in ruins now, but as we get closer and as we get further into our tour, you're going to get really inside of them and see just how nice these barracks were for the time being. Keep in mind, this is the 1840s we're talking about. Let's keep going. Right here we have a kitchen. This is one of the many kitchens that were on post. Again, it's made of a stone foundation. You can see the fireplace part right here. And this would have extended up, 10, 15, 20 feet. But this was a small kitchen. This was a small post when it first started. It would later grow to be around 3,000 soldiers. So, let's keep going. So there's not much left of the guardhouse. And this would have been where your sergeant of the guard would have been, who would give out your daily guard duties. He would also, this guardhouse would also house whatever soldiers were in confinement or detained or prisoners that were traveling through. This was a major thoroughfare all the way down to California, so this was a vital link. The closest post at this time was 80 miles east. This was the southwesternmost fort in the United States at this time. So this is out in the middle of nowhere, right? But it was vital because it had to protect the trail that went to California. Let's keep. So right here we have the old commissary, right? This was a basement area. It would have been a structure above this as well, but you would have had your storage down here where it would have been kept cool. From what I had read, it could hold about 300 barrels worth of liquid or dry goods, things like that. This would have been a very important building to keep safe, keep dry, keep from burning down, things like that, because without food, you're not going to be able to feed your soldiers for very long. This is vital on a fort. So we're going to kind of go down in this a little bit, show you what's left. You can see these foundations are still strong and they're still standing today, right? With rock and mortar. A lot of this is limestone or granite mixed with mortar, and it still stands to this day, right? Still very, very strong foundation. And like I said, you would have come through here, there would have been a door right here, probably under lock and key. And this is where all of the fort's food would have been stored, all the provisions that would have been needed. The horse feed, the soldiers' feed, bacon, beer, whatever liquor they had for the tavern that was here on post. All your flour, things to make bread. And we'll go over to the kitchens later. There's a whole section of kitchens, right, to feed all of these soldiers that would have been here. And then we're gonna go take a tour of the barracks as we continue on this tour. This is what that commissary would have looked like. This is the door that we were just in. Okay, now this is when it was first built. This is a sketch of it. It's a log cabin. This would later have been replaced by stone at a later date. Lots of room for provisions inside of there. No doubt it would have been under lock and key. Okay, so this is one of the bread ovens. Actually, this is the bread oven, as I should say. It was also called the bake oven, but bread was baked here almost non-stop. I cannot imagine how hot this oven would have been. It would have been running continuously all day long. The only time it cooled down was probably at night when the soldiers went to sleep. But early in the morning, the baker, whoever that would have been, as I understand it, soldiers would rotate on a daily basis, and it was like an additional duty for the soldiers. and it was their duty to bake the bread for the day. Dozens of loaves of bread, right? Because at one point during the Mexican-American War, around 3,000 soldiers were stationed at this fort, okay? Now, the reason for that is because this was a staging area as the U.S. soldiers went down into Texas and into Mexico. Bet you didn't know that, did you? But that's why this site is so cool and why it's so neat to preserve sites like this. But this is a vital part. Soldiers had to have bread. They have to eat. And this was that lifeline. So we're going to get in here and get a close look, all right? This is the oven door, all right? It's an iron door. This is reconstructed, to my understanding. I don't know if any bread or anything like that is baked in here, but this is the lifeline of the fort. So now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the barracks buildings. We're going to take a tour inside of those and show you where the soldiers lived. So behind me, you can see both barracks. Alright, now think originally, these would have had porches on them, they would have had roofs on them. Those have since been destroyed. Alright, the one over here, this is called the West Barracks. When the Confederates left the fort in 1865, it is understood that they burned the entire fort. Alright, everything, all the buildings, everything they burned, right, as they left. These barracks were reconstructed around the 70s. These were the East Barracks. They burned down in about 2010. I do not know if there's plans now to reconstruct that, but these are the original foundations, the original stone walls. Let's go in and take a look. These were the South Barracks, and these are the ones that burned down in 2010. I made a mistake earlier and called them the East Barracks, but they are the South Barracks. Let's go inside and take a look and see how the soldiers lived. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot left. It's kind of unfortunate, but you can see this fireplace indicates that it was 2 stories high, and it's just a testament to how amazing this structure was. As I said earlier, these are all original. This is original brick, original mortar when the building was first made. And I think it's just really cool because you would have known soldiers would have been going through here, through their daily lives, things like that. It's really quite sad, honestly. We are now at the West Barracks. And this was a home for a while up until 1917 when it was burned down and left in the ruinous state that it currently is in. Let's go inside. So here we are at the entrance of the West Barracks. See a doorway right here. Behind me you will see a fireplace where the soldiers would have kept warm, much on a day like today. It's probably about 39 degrees out today. So up here you see the original wooden lintels that would have gone above the doorpost, still intact. Undoubtedly, how many soldiers went through these doors is we'll never know. Over here we can see the original fireplace. This would have gone up all 2 stories. But right here, solid granite. These fireplaces would have radiated heat inside of this whole barracks building. And it was on both sides. We'll go over to the other side here in a second. But you can see, the second level, you would have had another fireplace up there. You would have had orderly rooms for the soldiers to sleep in. And then after the war, this was turned into a personal residence. This fort was divided up into allotments after the Civil War and given to various people within the Comanche Nation because this was Indian territory. So the U.S. government gave up the fort, gave up possession of it. It was never reoccupied after the Confederates left. And so it was given up to the Indian Agency, who divided the fort lands up into allotments and given to different families. This building, as I said earlier, was turned into a home. And unfortunately it burned in 1917, and it's stayed in this state ever since. But a very interesting testament to time. We're going to go over here to this section and get another look. So we were standing over here, but now we're on the other side of the fireplace. We have a giant support beam in order to help hold up the walls against the elements. We see over here another fireplace. Most likely over here there was another doorway, much like there is on this side. There's a doorway, and you probably would have had one company on each side of the fireplaces. So this probably would have been one room where your soldiers slept. Could have been an arms room. It could have been the orderly rooms for each company. We just don't know. And behind you, we're going to go in a second through a doorway, should be probably a porch area where the soldiers would have congregated at. Let's take a look. So through this doorway, soldiers would have exited, and now that I'm looking at it, I tend to think that this is probably where the armory was, the arms room where all the weapons were kept for the soldiers, probably a lot of their gear, things like that they wouldn't have used on a daily basis, because there wasn't a whole lot of room within your barracks. You're sharing it with, anywhere from 30 to 100 different people. So come on down here and let's take a look. Okay, so right now you guys are in the doorway that I was just in, and this is looking towards this room. I really feel like this could be where they kept their weapons at. I'm gonna kind of pan the camera around. I don't even know why I keep saying we, because it's just me that's doing the camera and the talking. But this is a small enough room that I think that's what this would have been used for. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I mean. So down here, this would have been a porch area all the way around. That's why the wall has to be supported. This is what I think would have been the arms room area. You would have had a doorway right here. One thing that I want to point out is how these windows are made. These are very much beveled, like how you would see castle. See how they are wider on the inside. So behind me is the Bowman cabin. I believe this was moved here in the 1990s. It's a cabin that would have been typical of this time period. Made out of wood logs, chink, you have your stovepipe. This would have been very common for what settlers would have had during, the 1840s all the way up into right around the 1900s, depending on some areas where you lived, especially here in America. If you lived in Appalachia, this is a lot of what you were living in. Very neat. Unfortunately, we can't get inside of it, but I'm sure it'd be pretty sparse. Let's keep going. So, we stepped outside of the barracks that are over here to our right. Now we've come down the hill just a little bit, and when you think of a fort, soldiers have uniforms, right? How are they going to clean their clothes? That's a big question. So what they would have to do is they would have to have a laundry system. Now in these laundry systems, a lot of soldiers, their wives would actually be the laundresses. So back in the old army, the army of the pre-Civil War era, soldiers were allowed to have families, obviously, but they weren't paid to have their families moved with them like they are in the modern times. So a lot of the soldiers' wives would become laundresses, or they would work in the hospital, or different things that would help supplement their income. Because soldiers, especially the enlisted side, they were not paid very much. And if you were going to be in the military for a long term, or a long time, you had to be able to support your family. And on one soldier's pay, that's not a whole lot for that time period. So the wives would have to find other jobs to be able to do. Being a laundress was one of those jobs. And the soldiers would have brought their uniforms, their dirty clothes down here. They would have washed them, they would have hung them out to dry, and that's how they would have earned their living. They would have been paid by the paymaster. They would have essentially been civilian contractors, if you will. So it was a pretty sizable building. I mean, you got 3,000 soldiers here at you know, sometime in your the highest times. They have to be able to be healthy, be clean, things like that. So yeah, it was a very important part of the camp life, is having a laundry system. Still is to even this day. Let's continue down. We're going to go take a look at the stables, and then we're going to go check out a Confederate cemetery down the hill. So let's keep going. Hey, so I brought you guys back into the West Barracks, and you guys are sitting in a window behind your computer screen, so to speak. And the reason I wanted to do this is because you have a very good view of the overlying surroundings. Now, when this fort was built, there would have been no trees within 1 mile of this. So just imagine, if you will, all the trees gone. And you have your laundry that we were just at. The laundry station is right down here. Beyond that, all this meadow would have been where the horses would have been. Keep in mind, this was a cavalry fort, or a cavalry post. As I said earlier, this was the southwesternmost located fort in the United States. So this is the 1840s to the 1860s. Keep in mind that you're getting Native American raids, you're getting raids from people like bandits, things like that. So it was a very important fort. But the cavalry were instrumental throughout the western history of the United States. So their horse herd would have covered all of this land down here. So I just kind of wanted to give you a perspective. The stables would have been further off to the right, my right, your left, and just a really, really cool piece of history. So I just noticed some graffiti right here, so I'm gonna bring you guys over here so you can see it. Okay, so I just noticed this as I was telling you guys about the laundry thing, and this is some period graffiti. I would imagine this was, I don't even know. I don't see any dates on it. I see a 17 right here. So maybe 1917, I don't know, guys. But I see Ardson, A-R-D-S-O-N. Maybe it was Richardson, I don't know. But just a really cool piece of history that I just happened to find while I was talking to you guys. It looks, I don't, it's hard to say because I see some symbols in it that look like it could be Native Americans, so I don't know. Really, really cool piece. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like an ancient @ symbol. I guess somebody was ahead of their time. This is the Cooper cabin. Reconstructed log cabin from the time period. Sort of in the doctor's office. This is what a typical American cabin would have looked like on the inside. Very small, very simple. It would have had your lamps, a small cupboard. Life was a lot more simple back then. This grave, remember as I said, this was a Confederate fort from around 1861 to 1865. The Confederates took it over. The Union abandoned this fort at the outbreak of the Civil War. The commanders felt the need was needed eastward after Fort Sumter was fired upon, so they left this fort in 1861. And it was vacant for a few months until the Confederates took it over. A lot of people forget that the Civil War did not stop at the Mississippi River. It went, on out here into Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Texas. So this fort was not given up until, I think, August of 1865, whereas the war had already ended in April, so several months prior. But this grave is a marker. There's over 200 unknown Confederates buried in this plot. It's a reminder that they were soldiers, they were American soldiers, fighting for a cause that they fervently believed in. They did not win the war. A lot of their records were destroyed, especially, I'm sure, when the Confederates left this post. They probably burned a lot of the records, and that's why we don't know any of the names. From what I understand, from what the park understands, is that they died of disease, possibly injuries sustained from various raids. There were a few battles that went on in Oklahoma, or Indian Territory as it was called at that time, but these soldiers are buried here, and unfortunately have not quite been forgotten, but they're unmarked. People don't know their names, but they're buried here. They were people's families, their husbands, sons, nephews, uncles, cousins to somebody. And it's unfortunate that we don't know their names or their history, but we should never forget them. So that is what this area is for. The park has done a great job at doing their best to remember them. So keep that in mind whenever you see unmarked graves, regardless of what nation. So yeah. That about concludes it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed this tour. I certainly enjoyed making it. We're going to keep doing more tour videos, but I just want to thank my patrons, Exciser, Michael Blum, and then Aaron Hook. Really appreciate you guys. Y'all's contributions and support definitely help making these videos, getting better equipment, things like that. So if you feel like supporting the channel, click the link, or the link for Patreon. I would hugely appreciate it. But thanks for watching. It's freezing, my battery is almost dead, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Have you ever wondered why in the movie Zulu or Zulu Dawn, the British helmets were either white or tan? It's because they would stain them with tea, so they would help blend in with the environment and the red dirt of South Africa. Check in again for another historical fact. So, as I sit here on this foundation of a gold mine that's abandoned, I was trying to think of a good video to do for 13,000 subscribers for reaching that milestone today. And I know 13,000 is probably small in the grand scheme of things, and I'm really hoping that my hat stays on. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off. It's a big milestone. I started this channel in 2014. It's just kind of a hobby, and it still, for the large part, is a hobby. But my end goal is to spread history through YouTube. It's a unique destination or a avenue to spread history. I've always wanted to teach history from an early age. I'm just very passionate about it. And I guess to summarize it, this location is pretty perfect because it's a small piece of history, but it's also very important. May not be to a lot of people, but to someone, this site means something. And if I can help share that, then that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I absolutely love sharing history, and you know, someday maybe a kid can stumble upon this video, or maybe when they're older and they'll be like, oh, you know, I remember when me and my family went to that spot, or maybe me and my dad went to that spot, you know, and it just kind of opens up some memories for them possibly. But regardless of how small or insignificant an event, a location, or an artifact is, it still plays a piece in the larger puzzle of history of the world, right? So mines like this, small and insignificant, only lasted for 3-4 years, but it helped pave the way to open up the West and Oklahoma and things like that. So in the grand scheme of things, a little place like this eventually played a big part. And that's kind of what I hope with my YouTube channel is. Right now it's pretty small, insignificant, but in the grand scheme of things, I expect it to play a very big part for spreading history. And that's kind of my vision for it. And I hope to have another successful year as I kick off 2024 with a lot of content. I hope it's good. I hope you guys are enjoying it. 13,000 people do, I guess, and hopefully, you know, we'll just keep growing from there. But I really appreciate every single person that has subscribed, commented, liked the video, even the ones that don't like videos. I appreciate it because that just tells me that you're watching it. Maybe you didn't like that video, but maybe somewhere down the line you might like another one. And I just hope I can keep bringing you guys interesting and relevant and good content. And it's not for the views or anything like that. It's just to spread history, you know. It's just a passion of mine. It's what I want to share, and I think you guys are kind of liking it. So we're gonna I don't know why I keep saying we. I'm gonna keep pressing forward and just go from there. So this is a as real as you can get update video, no edits. So appreciate you guys getting me this far, and I can't wait to see where we go at the end of 2024, all the way up till several years from now. I really cannot wait to see where this goes. So I appreciate all of y'all. I try to say it in every single video, and yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I want to thank my patrons for making this possible. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. My name is Kurt, and today we're going to be talking about the Gold Bell Mine. Now, this is in southwestern Oklahoma. It was a gold mine because there was a gold rush here, but not a gold rush in the sense of what you would think. Let's go take a closer look, and I'll let you know the story of this abandoned mine. This is what the gold mine would have looked like back in 1904 when it was created. It was built by E.A. Williams to process the granite ore, which is very common in this region. And it was believed that there was a large amount of gold here, but there really wasn't. What happened is in about 1907, the gold rush kind of came to an end. So what they did is they took gold dust, put it in a shotgun, and blasted it up there on top to convince prospectors or a potential buyer that there was gold being processed here. Unfortunately, the buyer got scammed, and as you can see, all that's left is the foundation. But let's go take a look inside the actual mine shaft and up top. So I believe this is a mine shaft. It's been filled in over time so that people can't go too deep into it. But I believe this is one of the areas where they would have blasted the gold dust in to fool the prospectors. But you can imagine in its heyday, it would have had probably cars or trolleys and probably a rail system and things like that. There's bits of metal all around this site. It's quite interesting, but let's get up here to the foundation and into the actual cyanide mill. So to give you guys a sense of scale, I'm going to go stand up next to one of the foundation blocks. And keep in mind, several stories high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories high. Process
gold mine. I'm not sure exactly how the process works. Processing technique. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure the fundamentals of that or how that was processed, but that's how they process the ore here, and they didn't really turn up any results, which is kind of why this place got abandoned. All right, now we're gonna go to the very top. This is the port where the ore okay, so I can't wear my hat because it's too windy, but in true Oklahoma fashion, it is very windy up here. And this is where the granite ore, which would have supposedly contained, they would have dropped it in, smelted it down, and extracted the gold. Problem is, there was no gold in it. Or if there was, it was very little, so little that you're not going to make a profit out of it. But they built this huge processing plant and mines, you know, hundreds of mine shafts were sunk all in the Wichita Mountains in the hopes of finding gold, but none was ever really found. But these are really cool, you know, sort of out west, got the gold mines, and there was, once the territory was opened up to settlement, back around 1900, hundreds of people flocked to this area, thousands actually, in the search of gold. Newspapers were abounding with articles about gold being found in various locations, and the U.S. Army out of Fort Sill actually had to kind of crack down on it prior to settlement of Oklahoma, because then it was only supposed to be available to Native Americans. But people would sneak across the border and, you know, put mine shafts in, various things like that. This is a result of that. And it's just kind of interesting, you know, you just don't see these things very often, but I just kind of wanted to show it to you. So I'm going to try to get up, not climb on it, but maybe hold the camera up so you guys can see down what's inside. I don't know what's inside of it. I've never seen it, but I assume there's an opening up, you know, so it is according to Google Maps. So let's go check it out. So in an effort to not lose my camera, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see beyond that or not. So with every gold mine, you would have a mining town to accompany it. And this one had one as well. It was called Wild Man, and as you can imagine, the name, it was definitely a very wild place. You had saloons, you had brothels, even all the way out here on the western frontier where there's nobody, you still had that stuff. Yeah, pretty interesting. Today there's nothing that's left. A lot of the foundation, or all the foundations were removed. None of the structures remain, and it's just kind of a figment of history. Well, as you could tell, that was very windy. Camera got knocked down, so anyway, I want to say thank you to my patrons for making this possible. Aaron Blum, Exciser, and Aaron Hook, really appreciate you guys. If you want to support the channel, follow the link above or below to my Patreon page. I give lots of goodies behind the scenes over there on Patreon, sorry. Definitely like and comment below. Let me know what other places you want me to visit, and I will do my best to visit it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today I'd like to thank my patrons for making this video possible. If you'd like to support the channel, please follow the link and you can support the channel. Today we're talking about the U.S. Army MRE menu number 23, the pizza slice pepperoni. I don't know why they couldn't say pepperoni pizza, but that's just the way the Army names things. So let's dive in and see how good this is. I have not had one of these before, so I am quite interested to see what is inside. Open up the bag here. As you can see, all the nice little contents. And as usual, I'm going to be using the bag as a garbage bag. And I'm going to also fill up my water here. I forgot to do that before the video, so please forgive me.
Alright, so what we have here is our pepperoni pizza with cheese and sauce. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I heat this up or not. Okay, we'll save that for a second. This is our MRE spoon. Let's go ahead and get that set off to the side. Our accessory pouch right here. And it looks like we've got some toilet paper, which I never use. Some matches, which will always come in handy. We got some salt. And this should be our moist towelette. And we've got our creamer non-dairy for coffee, even though I'm not a coffee drinker. We've got our coffee, so we will go ahead and mix that up, and we have some sugar for our coffee. And then to top it off, we have some gum. Now this looks to be the cinnamon variety since this is in a red packaging. So there's that. Let's see, we have an oatmeal cookie. Let's go ahead and open that up and place that over here. I'm not a big fan of the oatmeal cookies myself, but I'm going to test it out and let you guys know how it is. And we have some cheese spread with jalapenos. This is my least favorite cheese spread, but I'm going to set that over there. And what is this? This is cherry cobbler sauce. Oh my goodness, that's going to be good. Alright, we're going to get that set up right over here. These cobblers, I do enjoy these cobblers. They, oh man, I almost want to heat that up. I'm going to heat this up. Alright, so just put this right here. And what's interesting is I don't know if this pizza is supposed to be heated up as well. Alright, let's make sure I don't mess this up like I did last night, which I didn't get to do a video because the camera decided to mess up. Because I did not... Alright, just a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to place this right there on our rock or something. I'm assuming it doesn't say anything about heating this up, and it's not in the packaging as it normally would be, so you better be heating up. I ain't doing this again. Okay. I guess I'll just go ahead and open it. Okay. So I feel like that should have been opened. Oh, we got some vegetable crackers as well. Ah, why couldn't they be the regular crackers? That would be really good with that cobbler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these crackers probably... Alright, there's one. Wow, almost intact. Those guys usually crumble on me. Alright. And then we also have our little bag for mixing our drinks. And then we have our nutritional information sheet for the blueberry cobbler. So this is the second heater that is not working, and I have it filled. Do not overfill, right? So I got it at the right area. But for some reason, this is like the second. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna use our little sleeve here, and we're going to do this the way the instructions say. You know, I've done it before. Alright, so I can kind of feel it heating up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this coffee going. I am not a fan of coffee, so I am going to do my best to not have a biased opinion. This is freeze-dried, as you can see, and then it just quickly absorbs into the water. Give that a nice little stir. And then, since I don't like coffee, I'm going to put some sugar in. Well, that is some tough sugar right there. Go ahead and add this. If I had more sugar, I'd probably add it to it. Alright, there we go. We sure have come a long way in our soldiers' rations for the for the U.S. Army. I never had the pizza version. This is my first time having it, which is not even in an Army setting. So I'm really curious to see what it's like. Alright, let's try this coffee. Tastes just like how I'd imagine coffee. Alright, next up we are, okay, so this is finally cooking, that's good. We are going to add this jalapeno cheese spread to the crackers, and I'm just going to kind of knead this up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like our cobbler is done. Oh, I hate that smell. I'm going to get this and just wipe it off a little bit. It's got all that water on it, and I know these have preservatives in them, but I would like to, I don't know what kind of chemicals that heater puts off, so I just kind of wipe that off a little bit. Alright. Get that thing off there. Oh, that cobbler looks amazing. Sure does smell good. Alright, so I know we're not supposed to eat dessert first, but I cannot help myself. That honestly tastes like something that you would get probably for Thanksgiving. I mean, I know it's not homemade, but boy, that sure is close. The taste of it is very good. The blueberries definitely stand out, and it's not like a chemically blueberry that you would expect. The actual cobbler part, the dough, tastes legitimately like cobbler dough. That's very delicious. Alright, let's get back with our jalapeno cheese spread on these crackers. Now, as I said before, these are not my favorite crackers or my favorite cheese spread, so I'm just going to let you guys know how this is. Okay. I can definitely taste the jalapeno in it. And it does taste like real jalapeno. The vegetable cracker kind of offsets it a little bit, and it's got more of a grainy taste to it, if that makes sense. Now we're going to move to this pizza, which I am very curious about, and I honestly wish I had heated this up, but I just don't know how or if you're supposed to do that. But I mean, it's got pepperoni on it, it's got cheese. Oh wow, that is amazing. That is delicious. That is a very good MRE pizza. I've never had the pizza before, but I am so surprised on this. This is very, very delicious. You can taste the sauce in it. You can taste the dough or the breading. The cheese on it tastes great. And the thing is, they really mask that chemical taste that you would imagine. Top notch. Alright, and last but not least, our oatmeal cookie. You know what? I wonder how well this would taste. I'm going to mix that in here. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the oatmeal cookie, but we're going to taste it out and see how it is. It's about as much as to be expected. It's definitely a very hard cookie. I prefer my cookies more of like a soft bake. It's definitely got an oat flavor, like, you know, oatmeal cookies are. It's actually, out of all the things that you could taste a preservative in, I can definitely tell it in the oatmeal cookie. To be honest, not the best. So over here, we're gonna have our gum, and I hate to eat this gum now because I want to eat the rest of the MRE here in a second. But let's taste this gum and see how it is. Yep, definitely cinnamon flavored. Yeah. Takes the morningness out of your breath. Yeah, very good gum. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps it up for the pizza MRE. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thanks for sticking around and watching the whole thing. So, if you if you want to support me, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment below on what you want to see me review next. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Are you someone like me who is completely obsessed with military history? If so, you've definitely come to the right place. Do you like MRE reviews? How soldiers shaved in the field? Maybe you're interested in what they ate or drank every single day. Maybe you like gun videos. My channel is exactly what you're looking for. I have everything that is dedicated to military history. Does your wife get irritated at how much you spend on your collection? Mine does too. Your membership directly impacts my channel and allows me to bring you better military history content. I have the most affordable membership program on YouTube. At 99 cents, you get access to everything a member can on my channel. My membership program has 7 different levels. Each level is determined on how long you're a member for. For only 99 cents a month, you can become a member of my channel and support the military history community. If my channel is something that you're looking for, then please consider becoming a member. I would love to see you there. Welcome back everybody. Today I've got something to unbox that I think all of you will enjoy. So, let's go ahead and reach into our fridge. I don't know why I put this in the fridge, but it just seemed like a really cool place to put it in. But we got something in the mail. I am a firm believer that every man needs a good knife these days, so bayonets are not the best item to cut with, but it looks cool for the video. These are something that I use quite often, and you've seen them in previous videos before, and they are the M19 or 1897 leggings. These things are great. They are phenomenal. These are made by What Price Glory. They are not a sponsor, but if they ever want to sponsor, that'd be kind of cool. I enjoy their gear. I've been buying their gear for a number of years. It's where most of my World War I items come from and my Spanish-American War items come from. But these are truly top-notch. Oh, okay, so this is something that is new, that was not on my original pair. They are marked with Eureka Arsenal. So they have Arsenal markings, the size number, which these are size 1. Wiley's leggings, fastening patented March 31st, 85, and it's even got a patent number down there. How awesome is that? I was totally not expecting that, to be honest. But I like these a lot. They're made out of heavy-duty canvas, which is great for the hiking and things that I do. I usually use them for hunting. They're just really, really great. I like the look of them as well. So the leather straps down here, as well as the buckle and everything, they're riveted, like sturdy rivets. And then you have a double layer of stitching. It's like reinforced stitching down here. So they're not going to really rip out. This leather strap, yeah, it's riveted. And the rivets are, I mean, those are some solid rivets. And the leather too, you know, that's probably like about 1/8 of an inch thick leather. Yeah, I mean, that's some heavy duty leather. So that's, yeah, these are great. These are actually a lot better than what I expected, to be honest. Pleasantly surprised. So anyway, I have a video where I show you how to lace these up. I'll probably do another one in the future, but this is something that I use quite often. My other pair was worn out, and I've had them for maybe 6 years. I've hiked in Texas with them. I've hiked. Oh, okay, so here's something I don't like that I just noticed. Okay, you guys did really well on some stuff, but then you kind of buggered it up. All right, so you see, I don't like that. No, that's not cool. It's supposed to, and the ones that I had before were capped in brass. And I liked that because they did not fray. These look to be, okay, that's very corroded brass. Okay, I don't have a problem with that so much. What I do have a problem with is this. It is supposed to be capped like this, and this one is not. So, I don't know, maybe they'll replace it, maybe not, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if they did replace it, because it's supposed to be correct like this. You know, they're supposed to be held in place. The cords are supposed to end like that, terminate like that. So, well, that was a bummer. But other than that, these are great quality. I do enjoy them. That is a one-off on all of the items that I've ever gotten from What Price Glory. So that's not too bad, to be honest. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to become a member, please go ahead and join my membership program. It's 99 cents, which, as you can see, is not a very large amount. It is the cheapest that you can set up on YouTube. So there's a lot of perks. You're going to get ad-free videos where you don't have to watch the ads. It's kind of a way for me to give back to you, plus some behind-the-scenes content and things like that I do on an everyday basis, and I'm very, very, very active on it. So you'll definitely be able to get to know me on more of a personal level. But anyway, these are the 1897 leggings. I like them a lot, and I will show you how to lace them. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, click the notification bell, hit subscribe, comment below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. This is Kurt, and today we are reviewing menu 22, beef goulash. This is, without a doubt, my favorite MRE that's ever been produced. So I want to thank my patrons for allowing me to be able to contribute and purchase one of these. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what is inside. I hope there's some Skittles in this, but I doubt it. Well, this one's being a little difficult. As always, I like to discard the bag, and I like to use it as a garbage bag, so I'm just going to stick that over to the side. And it looks like we have our beef goulash right here. And I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and pick out the heater, which is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it up so that we can start. Now, for some reason, the last two times that I have used these heaters, they have not worked very well. So I'm not sure if maybe this box had a bad batch of heaters, but that seems to be the case. So yeah, insert that, insert the pouch, insert the water. Well, I'm doing everything correctly. I mean, I've used these things a whole bunch of times before. So let's see. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get this water. Smart Water is not sponsoring any of my videos, but I just happen to like Smart Water, so I generally use these bottles multiple times, and it's just one of those handy things to have. Alright, so show you guys, we are not going to go past that do not fill line. And that should get us right there. I'm going to fold this over. And one of the cool things that the MREs come with now is it's like a nutritional sort of like a packet, and you can put this around your MRE as you're heating it up, and then just kind of like leave it elevated right there on your rock or something. The most useful item, the MRE spoon. Should never be caught without one of those. We have a chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder. I unfortunately am not able to drink protein powders, so I will not be able to review that part. Right here we've got some patriotic sugar cookies, so I'm going to go ahead and make this video patriotic by sprinkling these cookies on the... They're actually really good cookies. They're like sugar cookies, and they have little things. I'm assuming that's a little bomb going off maybe. You'll have other things like, oh, there's an American flag, very patriotic. Gonna go ahead and eat that. That's a lot of cookies. Oh, we're gonna be so patriotic. Alright, I can smell the heater. It's working flawlessly and working its magic. Right here we have our little accessory pouch. It's going to have various things like drink powder, and thank goodness this one does not have coffee because I hate coffee. But I am really curious to see what powder it's got in here. We have our gum right here. It's usually sort of like a
doesn't last very long. We have our toilet paper, which I honestly have never ever used before. Sometimes I use it as a napkin, which is what the moist towelette is supposed to be used for, as a napkin. And then we have our iodized salt. Sometimes I'll use this on a meal if it needs it. Sometimes a lot of the meals they don't need it. So, oh good, this is the raspberry. I absolutely love the raspberry. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this, and we're gonna mix that into our water over here. I think my favorite drink mix actually is the raspberry, so that is why this is one of my favorite meals. I have a lot of items that I really, really like, all in one MRE. So it's like a win all the time. Just gonna give that a good stir. Let's go ahead and taste this raspberry beverage powder. Oh, that's good. That is so good. And it's full of electrolytes, so, you know, it's also good for that as well. This is strawberry jam, so don't need that quite yet. And this is some crunchy peanut butter. I don't need that yet either, so I'm gonna keep this over here along with the strawberry jam. We have some wheat snack bread. And then we also have applesauce. The applesauce is actually quite good. Somebody commented the other day that, you know, these are low quality, oh, what do you call it? They were made for low quality and bare essentials, which I guess is to a certain extent true. MREs are designed to keep you fighting, not to win a Gordon Ramsay competition. However, given what they are designed for, given, you know, the specifications and the limitations from the manufacturer, these MREs are quite delicious. When you're out in the field and it sucks and it's cold and it's raining and you've got a nice hot meal, these things perform very well. They are definitely worth their weight. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the wheat snack bread. The bread is generally always in good condition. I did have one time. It was issued, I don't know how old it was, but at that time I didn't really care, but it was a little moldy. And that's the first time I've ever seen any of the snack bread or any of the stuff go bad on an American MRE. I think because these have a long shelf life. But so it's just something that I always do. I always check and make sure there's no mold on it. But we're gonna go ahead and get this strawberry jam spread on here. Well, if I can get this to open. Sometimes these things can be a little difficult. Something feels a little off about the jam. For some reason it seems like it's kind of congealed. It's kind of a... Never really had that happen before. But I guess we'll take a look at it. It looks like it's pretty safe. I don't believe these MREs are out of date. Then we have some crunchy peanut butter. I am going to go ahead and kind of knead this up a little bit. Make it a little bit more malleable and easier to squeeze out of the tube. And we're going to put that on that wheat snack bread. This is doing really well cooking.
So yeah, we are almost ready to put that goulash right in here, and I'm going to enjoy it. There we go, that's pretty good. But yeah, these MREs, they are pretty good. They've made a lot of improvements on them over the years. Even, I would say within the last 10 to 13 years, they've made a whole bunch of improvements on them. From different menu types to the quality of the food, you name it. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead, we're gonna lather this on here. Make sort of like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, just minus the top half of the bread. Get off there, jelly. I'm in a sticky situation. There we go. I'm going to use the moist towelette to clean the hand. I don't like having sticky fingers. Alright, so while we wait for this goulash, I'm going to go ahead and start trying some of this applesauce and let you guys know how it tastes. Alright. Applesauce tastes good. It's got a good apple flavor to it. Not too chemically. When I say chemically, I mean like preservatives. It's got a good apple flavor to it. Definitely something that you would pick up from the store. Along with these cookies. These cookies are really good shortbread sugar cookies, or yeah, shortbread cookies. Now, let's see. Based off of how this feels, sometimes I like to kind of mash it up a little bit. And what this cardboard also does, it also helps from burning your hand. Because if I was to do this regularly, my hand would be on fire. But I think we're good to go. Yeah. Go ahead and get this out of here. Oh yeah, that's warm. That is toasty. Go ahead and peel this every single time. Well, that's just how it's gonna have to be. Alright. Get this good. Yep, it is steaming. It is good. This is such a good MRE. Put this in our little trash bag right there. With our heater. Clean off the end of my spoon. Alright, let's see how I can describe this goulash for you guys, because boy, this is a good meal to have out in the field, I tell you what. That is very good. I can taste the oats in it. It's even got a hint of paprika in it, which I love. Not many recipes here in America have paprika in their goulash, but this one does. Absolutely love it. I can taste the tomatoes in it. The sauce is a very good consistency. Tastes a little bit of carrots. Yeah, guys, this is a good MRE. If you ever get the chance to purchase one or add one to your survival kit, highly recommend the goulash. It's menu 22. That's what you want to ask for or order whenever you order one from offline. Highly, highly recommend it. And now we have our wheat snack bread. It's always a great addition to an MRE. The bread is great for sticking to your stomach, taking up some of that empty space. And it's also nutritious, so there's that aspect as well. But that's menu 22, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, comment below on what you want to see next. Check out my Patreon page, that's how I'm able to purchase these MREs for review, as well as all my other videos. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Volleyfire Fridays. This series is going to focus on hosting special guests where we talk about historical events, movies, historical figures, battles, wars, anything military history related. Tonight is the premiere of this new series, and I'm hosting Murphy's Muskets, who is a longtime YouTube creator who kind of was the original king of black powder on YouTube. Tonight we are talking about The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson. We're going to dive into the storyline, the historical accuracies and inaccuracies, and some subtle things that are hidden within the script that you may or may not have known about. So join us along. If you are in the comments section, be sure to drop some comments below, ask us questions, and we'll answer them throughout the live stream. So hope you guys enjoy it, and this is going to be a Friday thing, so definitely stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about the U.S. Army bugle and bugle calls that were used during the 1880s, 1890s, and on up into World War I. We're going to go through the whole sequence of bugle calls as they would have come out during the day, and many of these are still used today on base. So if you're in the military, or if you were in the military, you're probably going to recognize a lot of these. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, buglers, they played an integral part of any military unit all the way up to just before World War II. Actually, during the Philippines, they sounded the cavalry charge to allow or to notify the soldiers that the Japanese were attacking. So yeah, it's an integral part. It's been since the dawn of early warfare all the way up until, like I said, World War II. Now it's more of a ceremonial use. At funeral details, things like that, we've had to use them. But it is still a tradition that is carried on, and it's really neat to hear these, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Really like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to thank all of my channel members and my patrons on Patreon for allowing me to be able to fund these kind of videos and bring really good content to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below with what you want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you over there. Alright everybody, today we have MRE Menu 16 Chicken Burrito Bowl. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's on the inside. As always, it's usually a pretty easy open, and there's the contents in there. Let's see what we have in here today. So this should be our main dish, Chicken Burrito Bowl. And we have cinnamon bun. Those are always a treat. Look at that. That's pretty good. I'm gonna open that up and put it right there. As always, I like to use the main bag as my garbage bag. Here's our accessory pouch right here, and I'm gonna open that up and see what's on the inside. Looks like we got some creamer. Oh, some Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee. If you guys have seen my other videos, you'll know that I'm not much of a coffee drinker. We got a moist towelette right here. It's always good for cleaning up. We got some 0-calorie sweetener. Some toilet paper that goes a long way. And let's see, some salt. We'll probably be using that. And some gum. Put my gum right there. Some Tabasco sauce. So once I get done going through all 24 MREs, I'm going to set up a playlist for how to cook them in the field. It'll be more of a field environment. It should be pretty interesting. And we have some cheese spread to go along with our chicken burrito bowl. As always, we have our spoon. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And we have some trail mix with some pretzels. Open those guys up and see what they look like. Not too bad. Take that little preservative packet out. This is a drink mix bag, and they're actually really good for waterproofing things, so if you want to put your cell phone in it or something, it's really good for that. We have our beverage base powder, which that's what I'm going to be using today for mixing my drink. Just set that right there. We have our heater right here. In the last video, it kind of kicked my butt. I felt pretty embarrassed for that. And then we have our little cardboard, I call them little hot pocket thingies.
basically put it over your heater and your meal so that it doesn't tip over and leak everywhere. We'll be using that here in a second. And then we have our tortillas. So I'm going to go ahead and get our tortillas set out. But yeah, you can take your, well, if you're like me and if you have a mess kit, you can take a jet boil, kind of heat those up a little bit, make them a little bit tastier, slightly a little bit more authentic. So what we're also going to do is I'm going to put my cheese in the heater, so that would be some pretty good cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up our heater right here. I'm going to insert the burrito, the whole meal. This is the important part, is you do not want to fill the water above this overfill line. For some reason, I do it all the time. And I've been doing this for many years. Okay. That should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it up like that. Stick this over. And I'm also going to stick the cheese in there. That should give a nice, just like that. All right. So we got this starting to warm up. Like I did it again, I swear all the time. No, okay, I think I'll be right back. I'm gonna go empty some water out. All right, everybody, I'm back and I took the water out, or some of the water, and that fixed the issue. And so now we've got some warm cheese to go onto the burrito. And we have our main dish heated up. So let's go ahead, take this out. Now, I'm not sure what chemicals are inside of the heater, so I'm just gonna, that got wet with the water. I'm gonna take those out, and just so I don't get any of that water on my actual food, I like to take the toilet paper, kind of wipe it down a bit, just because you just never know what it is. And I don't really want to ingest it, so. Alright. Well, that was a bummer. So, let's try it from this side. That was a little bit better. Not completely, but still didn't quite heat up all of it. But it did a pretty good job. Get all this out. This is a lot more difficult than it should be. You know, getting my tablecloth all dirty, but hey, it's fine. It'll buff out. Alright, so let's try this burrito filling. It looks very good. you can definitely taste the spices in that. I can taste a lot of the various Hispanic spices, the corn in it, even the chicken, to be honest. It's quite delicious. Now, I have to say, these MREs have come a long way from, say, your typical, Spanish-American War canned beef, which if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But these are fantastic. As far as keeping you fed, keeping you going in the field, the taste, oh, I forgot our cheese. The taste on these are really just phenomenal. And I would go out and venture to say these have a very similar taste to what you would get in a restaurant. The quality of spices, the ingredients, even the rice is honestly, it's top notch. You couldn't ask for a better field ration, in my opinion. Some of the foreign ones, they do taste, good and everything, and they don't have as many preservatives, but for flavor, you really cannot beat an American MRE. I don't need to add any salt, or really anything. I have the bean flavor. Look at that. Of course, it's not going to focus. But phenomenal burrito filling. I will say the tortillas are lacking in flavor. They taste terrible. Very bland, like I said, if you were to cook them on, say, a jet boil, they would significantly increase the flavor, and you would get more of a floury texture and flavor that you would get at a local restaurant. Hands down, very, very good main course meal. And of course, we have our trail mix, and an assortment of cashews and peanuts and pretzels. Great taste, exactly as you would expect. The pretzels are a little weird, being like these little round ball, but all in all, not bad, not bad. I'm sure it was designed that way to save space. So what we're going to do now is open up our beverage powder. And I totally did not even get that open. Wow. This is an orange powder. Wow, I am totally messing this up. But it's okay. We're going to get through this. I don't want to pour the whole thing in it because this is not the proper amount of water for the drink. But it's good for demonstration purposes for the video. So this was always one of my favorite drink powders for during basic and all that stuff. Even any time out in the field, definitely one of my favorites. Very good color. Tastes just like Gatorade. Tastes exactly like how you would imagine Gatorade. Orange flavored Gatorade, and that's why I loved it so much. It is full of electrolytes, all the good stuff that you need. And last but not least, for dessert, we have our cinnamon roll, or cinnamon bun. This what you would benefit from putting on a jet boil as well and heating up. You can taste the cinnamon in it. The breading is a little doughy in consistency. Think of a Danish. That's exactly how. Actually, that's a pretty good example. Actually, pretty proud of myself. Yeah, just like a Danish. That's what the dough tastes like. So that's the best thing I can compare it to. All in all, phenomenal MRE. Definitely one of the tastier, more, I would say better quality, I guess, MREs within the U.S. Army or the U.S. military MRE selection. So with that pretty much concludes the meal. I want to thank all of my channel members as well as my patrons for contributing and being patrons and channel members. That allows me to go out and purchase things like this so that I can bring it to you, the viewer, so that you can enjoy on YouTube. If you want to support my channel, consider joining the channel and get monthly perks, as well as joining my Patreon page. Become a patron over there, where I upload various things such as all my videos are ad-free, behind the scenes content, things like that. So I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today we have menu 17, pork sausage patty maple flavored. So this is the MRE for the day, and let's see what's on the inside. As we get started here, I would like to thank my channel members and my patrons for allowing me to be able to purchase these. If you are an MRE aficionado, then you will know they are not cheap. So we have the contents right in here, and I can already see our spoon. I'm going to go ahead and get that out, and let's get the contents out of here. Let's see what we have. As always, I like to use the bag as a trash bag. I'm going to go ahead and get our spoon out. Here's our patty, our pork patty. This is one of my favorite MREs. We got a maple muffin top, so essentially a maple muffin. I'm very certain this is going to taste quite well. Oh yeah, it smells so good. It smells like maple syrup. Got our little accessories right here. Oh, we got table syrup. That's gonna go well. We've got some smoked barbecue onions. It's kind of an interesting combination there with maple syrup and then barbecue almonds. Look at those. It's that's gonna be interesting. While we unpack the rest of the MRE, I'm going to go ahead and get the heater started. We've got our little cardboard, sort of like a hot pocket thing where you put your stuff in there and keeps it nice and tidy. See if this needs to be heated up. Hash brown, that needs to be heated up too. So, alright, so we are going to go ahead, put both of these into our flameless heater right here. Just like so. There we go. That was a little difficult to get started in there. but we got it. Alright, now I'm going to put the hash browns on the back side. I don't know if you're supposed to do, if you can do 2 at a time, but I have done it in the past and it has worked. Just kind of bend that up. Trying to get, well, it's a little bit more difficult, but it can't, there we go. There it starts going. Alright, that is one thick MRE pouch. And we are going to fill it to the do not overfill line. I have a bad habit of always overfilling. Alright, so that should work. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to slip this over the top like so. And I'm going to leave this right here. And I'm going to put the syrup underneath it so it kind of heats up a little bit as well. Hot syrup is always a good thing. Alright. So that leaves us, okay good, the heater's working, with our great beverage powder. So I've got a small cup right here. If you like these cups, you can actually get them off the MadrosArsenal.com where I'm selling them, as well as a bunch of other t-shirts and everything. But I've got these cups for sale, but I have just a little cup of water, so I don't have the entire, you're supposed to add this, actually, oh, okay, 12 ounces of water. This cup happens to be 12 ounces of water, so I guess we'll add it all to it. Oh, that's a blue grape. It smells more of like a blueberry type smell versus a grape. Nonetheless, it's going to be packed full of electrolytes, which is always good for when you're in your field. You need lots of those. Just give this a good stir. Now, a lot of times what your MRE will want you to do is use this beverage bag where you can actually mix stuff in. It's a really good tool to put, say, your cell phone in and keep it waterproof if you don't have anything. If you don't want to use it as a beverage bag. They're not the easiest to drink out of, but they're also pretty handy to have. And then here, right here, we have granola with milk and blueberries. This is dehydrated, so you're just going to add a little bit of purified water, let it stand for 30 minutes. A lot of times in the field, you don't have 30 minutes, depending on where you're at or what you're doing. I'm going to put it right here for us to see. And of course, I did not tear that off correctly. There we go. That's what the inside looks like. It's not too bad. It definitely smells like a real good blueberry granola. Yeah. Perhaps in another video I'll have another container of water where I can show that for you guys and give you a good taste test on that. But I do believe our grape juice should be fully dissolved. Looks good.
Not exactly how I would imagine grape. I would think it would be more purple versus blue, but here we go. Tastes like a grape, just a little colored differently. It tastes quite good. So, in our accessory pouch, we're going to have a lot of the essentials, like toilet paper, which is, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I use the toilet paper to wipe down the water residue on the outside of the meals, because they're chemically heated and I don't want to ingest those chemicals. Got a sugar packet, which I don't really need for this meal, but they're always good to keep. The moist towelette is always good, especially if you want to clean out your canteen cup or something like that. Some iodized salt, always a great thing to have. Bill's Brew, freeze-dried coffee. If you guys know me, I am not a coffee drinker at all. And let's see. We got some matches, some cinnamon gum, and then some coffee creamer, which once again, I'm not a coffee drinker, but hey, it's an option. It's a good trade item maybe. Kind of keeps you up if you don't have any caffeine. So, let's see how warm this is. Oh, that's pretty warm. Let's see, I'm going to stick this in here. And I'm just going to let this go for a few minutes and we'll be right back. Alright everybody, we are back, and as you can see, sorry I didn't mean to kick you there. As you can see, I had to kind of adjust things a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start on this muffin. It should taste pretty good, and yeah, it's got a great maple syrup flavor to it. That was a very good, sorry for kicking you again, very good muffin. I hate to do dessert first, but sometimes it just happens that way. Alright, definitely a very good smoke maple flavor. Very, very good. Alright, now this is piping hot, so we should be good to go on this. Oh yeah, that's warm. Go ahead and wipe this off. This is the hash browns. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of mix them all. Did it again. These things always kick my butt. Alright, like I said, these are the hash browns, and right off the bat, their smell is quite nice. It's not Cracker Barrel or anything, or something that you get from home cooked, but it definitely has a good smell to it. And let me go ahead and get the the pork patty out of here. This one is always a bit of a pain to get through. There's the pork patty, sausage, and so it looks like a normal, pork patty that you would get from a restaurant. Let's try the hash browns. I don't know if it'll focus on that.
Maybe not. Well, maybe I should just give it time. Okay, I guess it's not going to focus on that. But, as you can see down here, it's got chunks of beef in it. It's got hashed potatoes and a little bit of green peppers in it. So, let's try it out. Delicious. Definitely a good smoky flavor. Honestly, it feels like this came right off of a campfire. That's exactly how this tastes. Just very, very wholesome. Right over here we have our table syrup. And I am going to go ahead and put this syrup on. It really doesn't need it, to be honest, and I hope I don't ruin it by doing this, but I'm just going to kind of mix these and see how the taste is. Now, when it's coupled with the muffin, oh my goodness, it's so great. This is a very, very delicious MRE. So it didn't really take too much away from the flavor. I like the smokiness. I mean, this honestly tastes like it came right off a campfire. I'm not kidding you. The hash browns are delicious. The onions, the flavor, everything about it. Now here we have the pork sausage, and if I'm not mistaken, this one does have a good maple flavor to it, but wow. Same thing. I feel like I just came off a campsite with this. It's got a good smoke flavor to it. It's got a good maple flavor to it. The meat does not taste processed. Yeah. Hands down, if you can get your hands on Menu 17, I highly recommend it. It is delicious. No other MRE honestly comes as close as tasting like something that came out of a camp kitchen. I don't know if they're experimenting with like artificial flavors or what, but they nailed it on this. I have to be honest. As an oddity though, I feel like tasting these barbecue almonds is definitely going to detract from the flavor, but I'm going to try one for you guys and give you my opinion on it. Well, as odd as I thought it would be, the barbecue flavor is toned down quite a bit. It does not detract from this entire meal at all, but I highly regret not having an extra water container to mix this up. I'm very curious on how that would be. So when I get on Menu 17 again, I will show you guys exactly what it's like. But that concludes it. Really appreciate you guys watching, and be sure to comment below with what you want to see next. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, we got everybody here. Present. Yeah. Alright, I've got a pretty big announcement to make. Oh, word, are you invading another country? Does someone need a 1776 or an 1812 like reminder? You're one to talk. Alright, calm down. Now, let's get to business. In front of you, I've given each of you a piece of paper. This looks like a script. No, it's actually a detailed plan of what I'm about to talk about. Gentlemen, we are moving. What? No way. That's insane. But, are we headed westward by any chance? No, and that's why I'm making the announcement now. I actually have a brilliant idea. I'm going to assemble the men, form a column, and then head out. But we won't about the tell videos? The boss what does that mean about filming? Are we not filming anymore? Oh no, I still plan on releasing videos every single week for our viewers. Oh, good. We must keep the home front appeased. Now, I want you all to pack light, and I want you to do research on your respective historical eras. In a few weeks, we have an appointment with the shooting range, which means I need you to be the best marksman possible. I don't want you making yourselves look like fools in front of our viewers. So, get well practiced, get some shooting time in, and let's hit the range. 3 times to make this video, right? With that being said, we have a lot ahead of us. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Kurt, and this is my channel, Madras Arsenal. Today we are talking about the Battle of the Washita River. Look at him go. Or the Washita River. In 1868, it was November, about the 26th, the evening of the 26th, General Custer trails these natives that had been on a raiding party. Custer utilized the terrain to his advantage, which a good commander is going to do. This is also the battle where Captain Benteen is going to form a severe hatred and resentment towards General Custer. And it's probably this resentment that plays a key factor in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. So, okay, so behind me is the hill that Custer would have taken position on. He was going to observe the battle from that location. That's where he was given his orders, and he was directing the battle. The battle only lasted for about 10 minutes, but he quickly crossed the river on his horse, made it to the highest point, which, from what he could tell, was this hill right here. And, as I said, that's where he started directing the battle from. Behind me, on this grassy plain between us and the river, is where the camp would have been set up. I think there was about 400-ish natives that were in this camp. It was very quickly overrun. As you can see, the bluffs or that ridge behind us, that's where Custer, the night prior, probably around midnight is what they said, is where he set up his camp. Waited a couple hours, and the early morning hours, they split into 4 different groups, and that's when they attacked. They attacked from the north, the northeast, the west, and the south. And like I said, the battle was over in 10 minutes. It really wasn't a battle. It was more along the lines of a massacre, but we'll get more onto that here later. So let's continue on down the trail. That's the ridge that Custer would have been behind the night before. And this is where the village was located. Behind me is where the whole village was located. Like I said, all the lodges, all the teepees that were out here. And let's continue on down the trail to where they killed the ponies. So just to give you more of an idea of how big the village would have been, 400 lodges, that's a lot. That's a lot of teepees and you know, dwellings. And it would have covered this entire area back here. And yes, you did have the 7th Cavalry that was doing that, but it was huge. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. Okay, so we are coming up on the river, and the river is a very culturally sensitive area because that's where the the camp was right next to it. But there's these prayer cloths that are tied to trees and various other objects,
It's not appropriate to photograph or film them, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. So I can't exactly show you the river unless I can find a spot right next to it, which I could probably do. So we're gonna go down there. I'm gonna see what I can film. But yeah, this is where the 7th Cavalry would have made their leap across the river and started going into the camp. But if you're wondering what book I'm using to reference a lot of this, it is The Great Plains Guide to Custer, 85 Forts, Fights, and Other Sites. It was written by Jeff Barnes. It's been a really good reference, and it documents Custer's travels all throughout the Western Plains, and it's a really, really good book. So consider checking that out. It's not a sponsor or anything, it's just a really good resource that I found, and I'm just sharing that knowledge with you guys. All right, let's continue on with our tour. Okay, so right behind me is the bank. I don't know if you can make it out in the video, but it's the bank, and right below is the Washita River. This is right where the 7th Cavalry would have been coming down this bank, across this river, and basically where you're standing or sitting is where the camp was. And so they would have come right through here on horse, full speed. They were playing Gary Owen, which was the like anthem of the 7th Cavalry, still is. You can see them down at Fort Cavazos. What's interesting, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that they decided to have the bugler play a song, or actually they say they had the whole band, so I don't know how many soldiers that would have been, or the fact they were able to play that song on horseback while on a full charge. So that's kind of impressive in two different aspects. But yeah, so this is pretty much the spot where they would have come through, you know, across the river. And let's continue on as we navigate through the camp. So let's get going. Are you someone like me who is completely obsessed with military history? If so, you've definitely come to the right place. Do you like MRE reviews, how soldiers shaved in the field? Maybe you're interested in what they ate or drank every single day. Maybe you like gun videos. My channel is exactly what you're looking for. I have everything that is dedicated to military history. Does your wife get irritated at how much you spend on your collection? Mine does too. Your membership directly impacts my channel and allows me to bring you better military history content. I have the most affordable membership program on YouTube. At 99 cents, you get access to everything a member can on my channel. My membership program has 7 different levels. Each level is determined on how long you're a member for. For only 99 cents a month, you can become a member of my channel and support the military history community. If my channel is something that you're looking for, then please consider becoming a member. I would love to see you there. Okay, so we just crossed the river and I'm turning around because I want you guys to see what Custer was thinking. This is the hill that Custer took a position on. So that's what he was seeing. He had his eye on the highest point, and that's what he went for. Okay, so we are in the heart of camp. We just came from the river. I showed you where the 7th Cavalry came across the river, and now they're moving into the camp pretty much on all directions. Surrounded. The fleeing natives take I guess it's a southwestern escape route, and unfortunately, his wife, even though they had a white flag on there and an American flag on their teepee, they wound up getting shot in the back as they were trying to flee. The reason for this was there was, as I said earlier, some natives, there's a few of them, I think it was like around 10, they went and they raided a settlement of American citizens, and they were traced back to here, and Black Kettle, I think at the time, was trying to figure out who it was, but before he could, Custer was already behind the bluffs, and they made their attack. And that was ordered by General Sheridan, who, what I've kind of come to find out, maybe not find out, but just my own way of thinking is,
You know, maybe General Sheridan used Custer a lot to kind of do his dirty work. Custer was very effective at it. He was a great Indian fighter. He was very successful in the Civil War, and he was equally successful out west, you know, out in this region. I think this battle, in my opinion, played a significant role in Custer's overconfidence at the Little Bighorn. This battle lasted for about 10 minutes, as I've said a few times in this video, and I think Custer anticipated that at the Little Bighorn. I don't think he realized the scale of the camp at Little Bighorn. In a few of those details, I think he did not receive either. I don't think he had the proper intelligence with his scouts, but I also think he ignored some of that because he was a little bit overconfident. But that's going to be in a later video where I really dive deep into Custer's decision-making process for the Little Bighorn. So let's continue on with the Battle of the Washita River, and yeah, let's keep on heading down the trail. For all my deer hunters, check this out. Okay, back to our paid programming. Okay, so we've come up to the edge of the camp. This is where the 7th Cavalry kind of halted, consolidated, and they rounded up the ponies of the natives. And we're going to run over here, or not run over, but walk over here, show you where they killed a lot of them. Around 43 women and children and natives were killed. Estimates are varying on both sides. Custer took about 53 captives, women and children. That was a tactic of his, and it worked very well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And now we're going to walk over and show you where the 7th Cavalry executed the horses. Okay, so this is the site of where the ponies were executed. 7th Cavalry put down about 625 ponies. These were vital to the Native Americans' way of life. It also enabled them to raid at long distances. Once the 7th Cavalry was consolidating all of the things, they began to find evidence of raids on white settlements and things like that within the camp, stolen goods, stolen materials, that. I'm not exactly sure how they would have gone about executing. Maybe they brought them one by one up at the bluff, shot them, so they'd roll down the hill. I'm not sure exactly. The records say, but this is kind of the consolidation point for that. And we're going to continue on the hill and continue on with our tour. Here's another view looking down where they executed the ponies. So that's why I have a feeling maybe they brought them up on this little ridge and just started throwing them down as they shot them. I could be wrong, but it's just a theory. So this is a very unique place. Custer utilized the terrain to his advantage, which a good commander is going to do. Now, General Sheridan gave the order to kill, burn, and destroy all the Native American villages that they could. Take their ponies, hang the warriors, etc., and take the women and children captive. This was the Army's first attempt, or first battle of a total war mindset against the Native Americans. Now, Custer was very smart. He was a great Civil War cavalry officer. That again in the West, all the way up to the Little Bighorn. The actions that he did here gave him the confidence to attack, I think, at the Little Bighorn. I'll get into that in a later video. But this is where it happened. This is the very first of it. This is also the battle where Captain Benteen is going to form a severe hatred and resentment towards General Custer. And it's probably this resentment that plays a key factor in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. So, alright, so it looks like this would have been the original site of Fort Cobb. It's private property, and so can't really get over there. But that's it. So as we are driving, this area would have been Fort Cobb. It would have been the original. It was actually a really terrible location, and the reason for that is there was no place to graze for the horses. General Sheridan even said this place was a place from hell. And what eventually happened was, after the Battle of Washita, the 7th Cavalry sent out some scouts down to Medicine Creek, which is modern-day Medicine Park. That's where they established Fort Sill, and at first it was called Camp Wichita, and that was under the direction of General Custer, and he was the one that established the camp, so he founded Fort Sill, essentially. But at that time it was Camp Wichita. Now over here to the right, in these fields, is where the 7th Cavalry would have been set up camp. This is where they would have had their encampment. They would have had an area for stables for their pony, or for the horses, and yeah. So this is Fort Cobb, and yeah, there's not much left of it from a military standpoint. It's a town now, a rural agricultural town. So, yep. Welcome back, everybody. Today we have menu 15 Mexican style chicken stew for our MRE review. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's on the inside. I'd like to take a moment and thank all of my channel members and my patrons for allowing me to purchase things like this. And if you want to contribute, you can see the links below. But this is the contents. As always, I like to use the bag as a little garbage bag. And first and foremost, we have our Mexican style chicken stew right here. Nice little packet. I'm going to go ahead and get the heater. And our secondary dish is mixed fruit. Okay, so that's good. That doesn't need to be heated up. And we have cheese spread with jalapenos. I'm going to heat that up as well, so it's a nice, good consistency. We're going to open up the heater right here. Then I'm going to insert the main course, just like so. And then this time I'm going to leave this out. I'm going to still heat it up, but I'm not going to put it inside the little heater. So we got to make sure that we do not fill above the fill line. Being very careful to add just enough water. There we go. I'm going to close it. And we have this little package right here that we can open up and put the meal in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a way to fold this down so it kind of stands up. So how cool is that? Bam. stick this right there. That should heat up pretty nice. Alright, so now we have our mixed fruit bag, and let me go ahead and get that all set up right here. Oh, I forgot to add our cheese. There you go, Mr. Cheese. Make sure no food's right here. Oh yeah. Nice little fruit cocktail right here. That's some good stuff. Alright, and then right here we have some cheese-filled pretzels, sort of like those, oh, I forget what they're called. You get them at gas stations a lot. They're real popular to take out to the field with you. There's those. Then we have a chocolate flavor First Strike nutritious energy bar. I am not a big fan of these. I just did not like them. But I'm going to review it for you guys. I'm going to let y'all know how it tastes. Ooh, that one is pretty solid. We have our little accessory pouch right here. See what we have. We got some gum, and we have a cranberry grape, which we'll be using in our water right here. We have a moist towelette, which is always great for cleaning up. Oop. We have some crushed red pepper, which I might use this in the main course meal. We have some iodized salt. Usually I don't have to add salt. These usually have quite a bit of salt in them, or some sodium. And then toilet paper, which I've never actually had to use before, so I just use it to wipe stuff down. Let's see, we have a chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder, which protein does not agree with me, so I can't really, unfortunately, do a review for that, but maybe one day I will mix some up for y'all. And then, of course, we have our spoon. Last but not least, our crackers. Go ahead and open these up. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever taken part of the famous cracker challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, leave a comment below and maybe someone will explain it to you. It's quite entertaining. Alright, so first and foremost, I'm going to give this fruit cocktail a little taste and see how it is. It's pretty much the same thing you'd get out of the grocery store. Tastes exactly the same. Make sure my heater's going. It's not. I'll be right back. I gotta pour some water out of it. Alright, I'm back. I had to make some adjustments to the MRE heater, but it should be heated up by now. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what the chicken stew looks like. Just gonna wipe this off so I don't get any of those chemicals inside the actual food that I'm gonna eat. Put that right up there. Alright, already it's got a great aroma to it. And let's see. I'm gonna add some of this cheese. Actually, I'm gonna put the cheese right in here, and I'm gonna let it sit for a few moments while I tell you guys about the cocktail, the cheese pretzels, and then the protein bar. So here's the cheese pretzels. Like I said, it's very much the same thing that you would get from a gas station. Yep, definitely had these before in the field. Taste very identical. These are great. They got pretty good salt content. You can really taste a smoked cheddar cheese. It's a good matching with the pretzel itself. Now this is a protein bar. I can't really do protein, but it smells like a good milk chocolate. Like a hot cocoa. And it tastes like a crunch bar, basically. Yeah. That's the closest thing I can compare it to. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. Nope. I need the cheese spread. Oh, that's hot. That is hot. Okay. Let's get this cheese spread. Oh, that heated up quick. Alright, let's get this cheese spread on here. Add a little bit of flavor to this chicken stew. Alright. Let's get this kind of mixed up. It smells phenomenal. And I can see little bits of corn in there, chicken, a lot of spices, some onions, some peppers. Alright, let's try this out. Look at that. 100% would recommend. The taste of the chicken is great. It's mixed very well with its spices. I can taste the individual bell peppers, like the green peppers that are in there, as well as the jalapeno and the cheese spread. The cheddar cheese, great as always. It's got a little bit of a spice to it because of the cheese with the jalapenos. I guarantee if you didn't put the cheese spread in there, there really wouldn't be much of a spice, but the flavor still would be there. But all in all, phenomenal MRE. Highly recommend it. Even the corn has its own flavor to it. Now I don't know how this would taste, but these crackers are incredibly dry. What's interesting, it's kind of a hallmark towards the old style hardtack. Now I have some hardtack here that I can show you. I baked this up for another video about the Spanish-American War, so you'll have to check that one out if you're interested in that. Highly recommend. Once again, oh, I forgot this for the outro. The beverage powder. I don't know why. I can never get these things. There we go. If you like these little cups that I've got, I sell them online. There's a link in the description, as well as probably on the screen right now. That's taking a while.
But these are 12-ounce camping cups. They have the Madras Arsenal logo on them, and you can pick them up pretty cheap. But pretty cool way to support the channel, and you get something in return. So definitely check them out. Comes out as a nice color. Delicious as always. Alright guys, well I appreciate you watching. This is menu 15, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment below with what you want to see next. I've got more MRV videos. I got a whole playlist, so you can watch those, check them out, and comment below and hit the like button, the notification bell, and please subscribe. I appreciate it, and I will see y'all in the next video.
Welcome back everybody to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today I'm going to show you my AR-15. This is not something that I usually will have on the channel, but it made an appearance in one of the previous ones, I think from one of the channel members. And so here it is. So let's get started with the video. I just want to thank my sponsor, which is me. This channel is 100% self-funded, and that means that I only rely on the YouTube ads as well as any channel members and patrons. So I don't get sponsored or supported by companies or anything like that. Pretty much everything comes straight out of the bank account, which at times that can put a heavy dent into the old pocketbook, so to speak. But anyway, enough of that. If you want to become a channel member, it's 99 cents. Just click the join button, and I would greatly appreciate it. It'd help out quite a bit. Ammunition is not cheap, as you all know, and so yeah. All right, anyway. So this is a Black Rain Ordnance. I think they're made in Missouri. I got this in 2020 during the height of COVID. It was the only AR-15 to be found when I was living in Texas, Toll Town and everything. I went to several gun shops. This is the only one that could be found, and so I snagged it. It was painted an ugly zombie green, and the stock was black. It just looked really weird. So me being a history nerd and a World War II buff, I looked up some German camo patterns and came upon pretty much the D-Day standard, which is what you see here. It's I'll go over how I paint it and everything, but the three basic colors are rust red, tan, and green. So I'm rocking an EO Tech right now, and yeah, Magpul front and rear sight, and yeah, I've got a Magpul front grip, foregrip, right? It's really easy to get in there, hold it tight. I've got a simple Amazon flashlight, nothing special. I actually cut the line and heat wrapped it. Quick release sling mount. It's pretty cool. I like it. Like I said, EO Tech optic, and then flip up iron sights. Not the best. I kind of prefer the A2 method of the triangle front sight post, but it gets the job done. And then I have a quick release mechanism right there. I don't really use it, I guess, but actually I guess I kind of do. And then I also modified, well, I didn't modify, I added a flash guard. There we go. It's modeled after the MG42. See if you can get a good sight on that. I think it was made by Keck Industries. But yeah, I'm kind of dubbing this the Stevens build. I think I'm pretty high qualified to be able to have my own build now. No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But yeah, I just kind of want to show it off. Let you guys kind of see, what the old modern Madras Arsenal rocks every now and then. And yeah, love this rifle. I've had it for probably 4 or 5 years now, and yeah, it's really great. It's got this cool little pushy thingy right here if you want to be really tactical and all that stuff. Actually, I've never used it, but in case you ever need to, if you have a malfunction, there it is. You can give it an old tap or something like that, Maybe check in here, see if your round is all seated and everything. But yeah,
Other than that, it's been a great rifle. Never had a malfunction on it. Haven't had any kind of hiccups on it. No, failures to extract. No failure to feed or anything like that. It's just been really, really great. I have highly enjoyed this rifle. I shoot it quite a bit, and actually more than my black powder stuff. So anyway, that's that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you aren't a member, become a member. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I need all the subscribers I can get. And hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below. If you think my shirt's ugly, or you think I wear silly underwear, let me know in the comments below. And I'll probably not get offended. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. And whoa, Granddaddy Longleg. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Welcome back, everybody. This is another episode of Madras Arsenal. My name is Kurt, and today I'm going to be talking to you about an upgrade on the AR that I did. Installed one of those binary triggers, and it's from Franklin Arms. If you've never heard of it or know what it does, it's very simple. It fires around on every mechanical operation of the trigger, right? Which is basically twice. So your standard semi, pull the trigger, fires, release it, resets. You flip it to binary, and what it does is fires when you pull the trigger, and it fires again when you release it. So it's good for a quick follow-up shot. It's great for competition shooting, which is what I'm really wanting to what I really want to get into. Wow, that was really hard to say. So anyway, I'm gonna go through the operation of it real quick and let you see it. Get some close-ups, let you see what how to flip it through the different cycles. And it's actually really easy to install. It took me about 5 minutes, 10 minutes after watching a couple of YouTube videos. And so anyway, let's get shooting and see how it does. Okay, weapon is on safe. Make sure you pay attention to the trigger pulls. We're going to start off in semi. We're going to go from there. Alright. Move the selector switch from safe to semi. And begin. Notice when I release the trigger, it reset like normal. We're going to do that again. Alright. Now we are going to move the selector switch from semi to binary. Again, watch the trigger pull. Notice on the release it fired like it's supposed to do. Definitely makes the, definitely makes that barrel hot. Yep, use responsibly, because, if you just go about it trying to ruin your gun, then that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to ruin your gun. And there's no need for that. No need to try to look cool or anything like that. Use it as a tool. And yeah. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video, and what an interesting upgrade that is to the AR platform. It's really going to make competition shooting a lot better. and hopefully I can kind of like break into that at some point. At least that's the goal. But getting a good follow-up shot is fantastic. It's easy to control. I mean, I've seen people where, you know, videos where they just kind of like let loose. To me, that's just kind of a waste of ammo, and you know, it's just don't abuse it. You know, take good care of it. Take care of your tools. I view this as a tool. You know, it's something that hopefully gets me into competitions. So anyway, that's sort of the goal with that. But yeah, it's just a great upgrade to have, in my opinion. You can get them offline from, I bought this one from Franklin Armory, and I forget what state they're out of, but it's 100% US made, all US materials, so that's a plus. You know, kind of supporting the Second Amendment community there, and hopefully, yeah, I mean, so far I haven't had to change out buffer springs, so the buffer spring it came with the rifle, and didn't have to change that. Thought I might have to. It seemed to cycle well. I didn't have you know, any malfunctions with the gas tube or anything like that, so that's great. But I also, once again, wasn't running it like it was not designed to be, so that could play a factor into it as well. But definitely check it out. I think it's a cool upgrade. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, and if you haven't become a channel member yet, definitely consider that. It helps out the channel a lot, especially since YouTube is not very gun friendly. So yeah, that helps out the channel. If you want to pick up a t-shirt or a hat or a hoodie or a beanie, or I got like coffee cups too, that would be greatly appreciated as well, because once again, that helps support the channel. So yeah, the next project that I've got going on should be the medieval hand cannon. Definitely stay tuned for that. I should be ordering that within the next couple of months, and then we'll get that project going. It was supposed to be a summer project, but things got way behind, and yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. Get down to the comments section and just kind of blow those up. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. You know, are they effective as far as these triggers? Do you think that they're good? Do you think they have a place in the community, or, you know, on firearms? Do you think they're really bad or whatever? Let me know. Let other people know. You know, try to change people's opinions on the internet. If you have any questions or anything, drop those below as well. But yeah, definitely share the video. Help me get out and get exposed, so that'd be great. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Added bonus, I shouldn't have to say this, but this is one reason I don't like a whole lot of trespassers and people that don't follow the rules, is because you have all this ammunition or these shells here, and it just trashes up the place. So if you come out to a public range, you know, people do pay their dues, and it would be great if you could just pick up after yourself. Like right now, I have to go get my target, and it's going to take about 35 seconds for me to walk down there and back and throw it away. We're going to time it real quick. Oh, it fell, so I'm going to have to take a few extra steps. Oh my. This goes a long way into helping keep your ranges nice and clean, keeps the dues low, and it just helps out and it makes you a decent human being. So with that said, pick up your trash. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. As you guys have seen, I've been absent kind of lately. Had a lot happen within the last 3-4 months. So I moved across the country again, and had some issues with my son, and then we gave birth to our second child. And I'm also dealing with trespassers on my property. Now, this whole property thing was supposed to be a pretty big secret until later on. I had a really good idea for a video, because this is where we're going to do our future homestead. So anyway, these people that live very close by
decided to do some threats and everything, and basically tell us that we don't own what we think we own, which is kind of funny because I paid money for it. I did multiple deployments, spent many years in the military saving up for my wife's and I dream, and we're like super close to fulfilling that. The goal is to start a homestead and become self-sufficient and do YouTube videos. That's why I wanted a lot of land, and I wanted out in the country and like out in the mountains. I grew up in the mountains and absolutely love it, so that's kind of where I went to. And some of the people are less than friendly, and as I do projects around, they like to come behind me and kind of undo those projects. So you may have seen the gate video where the guy takes the gate down. If not, I think you do have to be a channel member for that because it is kind of a sensitive topic. Yeah, people just ride through all the time like they own the place. Nobody's ever done anything with this property for almost 100 years. It was mined out and everything, so it's just sort of like been a giant playground, and now that we bought it, people are not happy. I suppose there could be, you know, I feel like we're pretty good people to have as neighbors. You know, it could have been someone else who might not have been as nice or friendly or anything. But anyway, that's all besides the point. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with. I do plan to do a gun video here shortly, and you'll be seeing the AR-15. I don't bring that out very much because it's not really vintage, but it does have a vintage camo pattern. You might recognize the Normandy pattern on it. It's one of my favorites. It worked very well in Texas, and I think it'll work here in the eastern United States as well. So, so yeah, that's just kind of what I'm doing. And now I've got a good piece of land to start opening up my range. So that'll be great. That'll be great for the YouTube channel. And as well as the homesteading aspect, which, like I said, I was not wanting to break that until much later down the line, with a really awesome video of me like taking off the uniform and like, you know, like this big emotional thing or whatever. But yeah, some trespasser or jackass decided to ruin that. So here we are. It's gonna be great. But like I said, that's what I've been doing. And thanks for sticking on, holding out. Back. Should be doing the Volley Fire Friday episodes. We'll be getting back into those just because newborns, you know how that is. You don't get a whole lot of sleep. Fortunately, ours is fairly decent at night. So, what else? Historical locations. I'm still seeking out those. If y'all guys have any ideas in the southeastern United States area, definitely put in the comments where I should check out. See you later. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today we're going to talk about how to scrim your helmet. This has also been called the Manchu hair, or Manchurian hair, but I call it the scrim. And it's actually quite easy to do. So let's take a closer look and see how you do this camouflage pattern, which is made famous by mostly European units. You see it a lot over in Europe, and I think it's got a pretty good application, you know, pretty much anywhere else. So let's take a look and see how you do it. Okay, so what I did is, if you can tell, this is just strips of old uniforms that I had. I'm using the UCP, the OCP pattern, which is what is currently issued, and I just tied them. See, these helmet covers, they have this nice little area for camouflaging, these holes that are already pre-made. And what I actually did is I got some elastic band. I don't know if you can see it right here, but I ran it in a crisscrossed pattern around the helmet, and that allowed me to attach much more material to the helmet and kind of gives it a disrupted look, right? Because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to disrupt the look of your AC, or actually this is a, this is an ACH. And you can see here the elastic band. And like I said, I just crisscrossed it through the pre-made holes, and then I was able to tie, not anything special, no special knots, just a very simple knot. This is over time going to get frayed and have a weathered look, and it's going to look a lot more natural, a lot more faded. And you can also put vegetation in there as well, you know, to help blend into whatever environment that you're working in. Another interesting or nice little feature of it is it does not interrupt with your NVG mount at all. You can obviously work around it, and if you notice, I have rails on the side of mine, and you know, no interference on that, but it also does a great job at covering that up and helping, like I said, disrupt the pattern of the round helmet shape. So overall, I think it's pretty good. It's a very, you know, it's just make sure that you have a clear line of sight down here, which I do, and yeah, it's a fantastic camouflage method that really doesn't require a whole lot of resources. And you can take, like I said, old uniforms, burlap, cloth, rags, things like that, and attach them to your helmet. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I did not mean for this to drop, but this segues into my second part of, in the next video, I will be telling you how, or teaching you, how to properly camouflage a trail camera. This one was not done correctly, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And this is sort of how I give back to my members. So spread the word. If you guys want to see how to camouflage stuff, definitely stay tuned, because I've got several more videos coming out. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.